Hi everybody, Kerry Harrison here, Harrison Specialties, and this is a 2014 Toro Grandstand. It's got a 52-inch turbo force deck on it, and we designed a turf striper for it. See it down in there. Kind of a tight squeeze on these guys. So I'm going to lift it up in the air a little bit, take the wheels off, and show you how to install it. The first step is to mount these angle brackets on the deck, and you have to drill these holes. The trick is to locate where the holes go. And the easiest way to do this is to just slide the bracket, just put the bracket on the flat surface and make it flush with the bottom of the mower deck. So it's right flush with the bottom, and then slide it over until it hits the curved part over here. And that's the location for it. And I've already got the bracket mounted on the other side. You can see that's ready to go. And as soon as you got it positioned, again, it's flush over here, so it's just touching this curved part and flush with the bottom. Clamp it on with a vice grip, then use a 3/8 drill right through it. Then it's a matter of putting a bolt in and a nut, tighten that up, then use the square and make sure that this is perpendicular with the deck or square with the deck. And then you can check on the bottom. It turned out to be just flush on the bottom, works really good. And then go ahead and drill through the top hole. And it's very important that the deck is lowered all the way down when you do this so that the drill doesn't hit up here. I mean, it does hit, but if the deck was higher, it would be just about impossible to drill that hole. So then it's a matter of bolting that on there. And well, actually it's easier to assemble all the brackets first, so I think we'll do that. We'll get these holes drilled, and of course they're already drilled here, but then you can release this and assemble the bearing brackets and the bearings and all that. Okay, so the first thing is we've assembled the brackets. So we've got a right hand assembly and left hand. This is actually the left hand one. You can see the right hand assembly is already installed. So that's all tightened up, ready to go. One thing I forgot to say when we were drilling the holes is the spacing of these holes. Should be about, center spacing is about 20 3/4. And there's going to be a drawing that's provided with the directions anyway that'll show that. So anyway, just to verify that you've got that right, 20 3/4 would be the spacing there. Okay, so to put this on, it's pretty simple really at this point. Just poke that in there like that. And over on this side, when I assembled this assembly here, I left the bearing loose, and that makes it a lot easier to mount this if you leave those loose. So I'll just go ahead and slip that over there. Pop my bolt in. And it's a little bit easier to do the top one first, it seems like, because the bottom bolt isn't in the way. And then there we go. This bolt in. Alright, got those in, tighten them up. That's nice and tight. And so is that. So now you can see we got a little play here. But these are self-aligning bearings, and they may, when you slide this bearing over, it may not necessarily slide flat with the mounting bracket, but when you tighten it, it'll kind of self-align and find its own home. There, make it nice and tight. Make sure when you mount this that you put these zerks pointing up. Now it's a matter of centering it between the edge of the roller and that bolt hole, or bolt head I mean. And so I'm going to go check and see what it is on the other side. Looks like we're just about touching on the other side. So I'm going to just use a dead blow hammer. Smack it over until we have a little clearance there. Oh man, I can't quite see. There, moved over. If you don't have a dead blow hammer, you can use a center punch right on the center of the shaft and a steel hammer and tap it over. You don't want to tap on the end of the shaft, of course, because you'll ding up the shaft or mushroom it. And if you mushroom the shaft, you won't be able to get the eccentric locking collar over the shaft. So now it's time for that. Now these locking. Okay, in this video we wanted to show exactly how to put on these eccentric locking collars. There seems to be some confusion about that, so I thought I'd make a real clear video, hope it'll be clear anyway, on how to do this. So you can see we've got a jerk striper roller with the bearing mounted on it already. And this collar, it's cupped on one side and smooth on the other side. Now this cup part matches the outer race of the bearing. And these two circles are eccentric, so they're going to lock together. So what we'll do is we'll slide this on here, and you can see it doesn't want to go on there, so I'm going to turn it. Now all of a sudden it clipped on there. So that's the position that it goes, but it still has slop in it. So we have to get this, take the slop out in the right direction. That's always what the issue is. And the way to figure out how to do that is when this is mounted on your machine and you're going to go that direction, the roller will be turning this way. So what you do is you determine which way the roller is going to turn, and then you turn the collar the same way until it locks. There, now I can't rotate it anymore. So now the shaft is locked to the inner race of the bearing through this eccentric collar. The other part that's so important about this is you notice that there's a blind hole right there and there's a set screw right there. The blind hole is actually used for setting the locking collar, or actually locking it to the bearing. And the way that that's done is you use a small punch like this, and you put this punch in this hole, and you want to drive this locking collar around the shaft. You're not pounding it down this way, but you're going this way, so you're actually driving it around the shaft. And then you just hit it with a hammer. Whoops, and it's a good idea to hold on to the punch so it doesn't go flying. Let me try that again. So you see the angle there. You give it a smack or two like that, and that locks it to the shaft. Then you tighten the set screw down. The set screw should never be counted on to hold this collar onto this shaft. It's all about how you set it with the punch. So again, the roller is going to turn this way when it's being used, and to set this, you turn it this way. Whoop, you turn this way, and you also rotate the collar that same direction until it's tight. See, I can loosen it up by going back this way. So you tighten her up that way, give it a smack or two with your punch, and then tighten the lock nut down. So, or the set screw, I mean. So hopefully that clears that up. And that's all there is to it. You're ready to go.